Recently, it's been hard to ignore the rise in gas prices, as it has covered every end of the media, and we're still witnessing it firsthand how it's gone up from a high end of $3 to a little bit above $5, and it's still climbing. But why is that? Why are gas prices rising, and should we expect it to go down anytime soon? Well, let's dive in and see what's going on in the world of gas. First, blame the COVID-19 pandemic, which threw oil markets severely out of whack 2 years ago. They still haven't fully recovered from the damage the virus inflicted. When COVID first hit, it put a deep dent in global oil demand, as many normal activities shut down and millions of people who usually drive to work had to stay at home now, causing crude oil prices to plunge. Since then, the world has slowly gotten through the pandemic and oil demand has come back, especially in the US. Unsurprisingly, consumers who missed out on travel and other normal activities in 2020 and 2021 are making up for that lost time now. US oil demand is about back to where it was pre-COVID, but oil production takes a lot longer to restart than oil consumption. Idled wells can't be easily restarted. Drilling new wells take time, and oil producers have been cautious about opening the taps quickly. Here in the US, oil output has only partially recovered from its 2020 drop. OPEC, or Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and its partner nations are only gradually restoring the exports they took off the market during the worst of the pandemic. Supply and demand helped push oil higher throughout 2021. Then they got another major boost in early 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. Russia ranks behind only the US and Saudi Arabia in supplying 10% of the world's oil needs. Western sanctions have cut off some of that supply. More sanctions targeting Moscow's oil sales may be coming, and many Western energy companies are voluntarily shunning Russian oil. All this has sent crude oil prices to around $120 per barrel, which in turn pushed the average price of regular gas well above $5 per gallon this spring. Then, there are political factors that have contributed to higher gas prices. President Joe Biden came into office vowing to transition the US economy away from the fossil fuels with the goal of having emissions from energy use by 2030 and making the US carbon neutral by 2050. The administration has continued to approve permits to drill for oil on federal lands, but it has also tried to cut back on where energy companies can drill for oil in the future. Plus, it famously nixed the disputed Keystone XL pipeline, which would have carried more than 800,000 barrels per day of Canadian crude to US refineries. That oil can still cross the border, but it'll have to come by rail, which is more expensive than moving by pipeline. In short, the administration has been less friendly to oil production and transport than its predecessor. At a time when markets are undersupplied, how much that adds to the price you pay at the pump is impossible to say, but it's a factor. Even now, with prices soaring, energy companies are being cautious about ramping up their oil output. They're slowly putting new rigs to work, drilling more wells, which helps, but they're also limiting how much they invest in new production so that they can reward their investors with bigger dividends and stock repurchases. That's good for stockholders, but it means less money going toward pumping more oil, which isn't great for consumers. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like gas prices are going to head much lower anytime soon. The war in Ukraine shows no sign of ending. Global oil demand is straining available supply, and Wall Street wants to publicly trade energy companies to grow their production slowly so that they can keep returning cash to shareholders. Earlier this year, they said that we could take a run at $5 per gallon for the national average. Now that has happened, it looks like gas prices could peak somewhere around $5.25 to $5.50 per gallon this summer. At this point, only an economic recession caused by the Federal Reserve's coming interest rate hikes, which some economists are starting to warn about, would be able to really lower gas prices. And that's probably not how anyone wants to save money at the pump. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you have a prediction as to where the economy is going, please leave a comment down below. If you found this information helpful and want to share the knowledge, please share it to your friends. If not, at least leave a like and comment to help and support the channel. I hope you have a good day, guys. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one.